Hey there, 4-5. All right, so today I want to show you what the woodwinds are and what makes a woodwind a woodwind. So we talked about with brass, it was the brass mouthpiece that makes it a brass instrument. The thing that makes a woodwind is this little piece of wood that is called a reed. It's paper thin, and if you look at it, you can see that it's been shaved down on one side and the other side is flat. Okay? Kind of looks like a piece of bamboo here, okay? Weird thing about woodwinds is you have to get the reed wet for it to work. So you have to suck on a piece of wood to start class. It's a kind of bizarre thing. This is a clarinet. Just like with the brass, it doesn't work if it doesn't have the main part. So you can blow on it and nothing happens without this. What the reed does is it vibrates, and that's what makes the sound go through to the clarinet. So once your reed is wet, you stick the flat side that didn't have shavings up against the mouthpiece here. And you use what's called a ligature. The ligature holds it on and keeps it from sliding. On the clarinet, this is the mouthpiece. This part right here is the barrel. And then here's the main body. Now, as you can see, compared to like the brass, there are a lot more fingerings, but don't let that scare you. The thing with brass is you do everything with your mouth, whereas this, you push the button and the note comes out. There's also a bass clarinet that is twice as big as this one, and it makes it a whole octave lower, like we had talked about with the tuba being an octave lower than the other brass instruments. But we'd start you on this in 6th grade, and then if you wanted to switch to bass clarinet, you can. And I'll show you that instrument when we start the school year up next year. All right, next, the saxophone. This is an alto saxophone. There's lots of different saxophones. There's alto, there's tenor, which is a little bigger, there's a bari, and then there's a soprano saxophone that looks like the clarinet but is gold, like the saxophone. Now the saxophone itself is very similar to the clarinet. Okay, it has the reed, it has the ligature, has a mouthpiece. The reed is just a little bigger. Remember how we talked about how the trumpet mouthpiece is smaller and it gets bigger with trombone and baritone and tuba? Same with the reed for alto saxophone. Same thing though, just a little bit wider. Okay, so first we get it wet. The thing about alto saxophone is it has a nice comfy neck strap so that you can play without having to have pressure of your hands holding the instrument, because it's a lot heavier than clarinet. It has the ligature just like the clarinet, so the mouthpiece is basically the same idea, just a bigger size. And this is what this bad boy sounds like. Okay, alto saxophone. And tenor is just about this much longer and lower. Okay, last one I want to show you in the woodwind family is the one that doesn't really fit in woodwind family because it doesn't have a reed. Every other instrument in the woodwind family has that wooden reed that makes it be a woodwind, because you use wind to make the sound and wood vibrates to make the sound. This is the flute. Now the flute has no reed. It has a head joint and a similar body joint to the sax and the clarinet, but the whole mouthpiece is different. The way you make a sound on flute is you say poo. And the flute doesn't work at all if you don't have that on there. It's sort of like if you've ever blown in the top of like any kind of glass bottle, like a root beer bottle, it'll make that same idea sound. So here's our flute. It can get pretty high too. And then the lowest I can play is... Okay? So these are all woodwinds. The other things I showed you were brass. And your job is not to decide which of these instruments you want to play, because I'll let you play them all the first couple of weeks of school. Your job by next Friday is to tell me whether you want to be in band or in choir. And I sent you out my email. Please ask me any questions you have, anything that you're not understanding, or basically anything that comes up and you're wondering which one is going to be a better fit for you, let me know. As I said before, if you're on the fence between both, I would suggest doing band because you know quite a bit about choir right now. You already know how to support your breath and things like that, since we've been doing that with concerts in the past. So if you're on the fence between the two, I would go with beginning band. And then if you don't like it, we can switch you to choir if we need to. But once you're in choir, it's hard to switch to band because we're going to be learning a whole new thing of music reading, how to breathe differently, and it's just an easier switch. So if you have any questions about anything, please let me know. I'm here. I miss you. I love you. Hope you're well. Bye.